one no-op that we had ranging on, make it in.
I'm verifying that now. My indication is... I'll have to continue to look at that.
The center circle, the one just to the right of center at the bottom, that red disc with the 3 blue petals and the black one in the center is a representation of the lander as it sits on the
Telecom flight
surface.
software.
Telecom.
Command counter indicates 17 immediate commands. This is consistent with all commands being received by the spacecraft.
Thank you.
The petal to the right, that is at the 3 o'clock position, is the one that contains the rover.
Rover
The
Mipple.
cone that sweeps out that's currently pointing to about the 4 o'clock position down to the
Go ahead,
right
Mipple.
You've
indicates
got
the
sequence
direction that
10
the camera
all
is pointing.
completed, CHV'd and mosaic for you.
Copy that, thank you.
So between the 2 diagrams there, one tells you the look direction or the azimuth, which direction around the lander it's actually looking, and the one on the far right
Telecom on court.
tells the elevation. One of the major questions now has been answered. The ramps have deployed, and they've deployed extremely well. Now the
Rover Mipple.
rover team has
Go ahead, Mipple.
a
9
difficult choice with extremely
Copy
easy
that, thank you
criteria.
much.
Both ramps are most likely satisfactory for a roll-off, and the team will now decide which way they want to go.
Ace Telecom. Yes, could you please verify that DSS-15 is getting valid two-way range?
It's expected that the team will have relatively little trouble deciding on which way to go, and hopefully they'll be able to develop the sequences to instruct the rover which direction to roll off the pedal and onto the surface of Mars, and do so with enough time for us to see downlink from the lander of the rover moving down the ramp and then onto the surface. If we see this successfully before the Earth sets, then we'll get those images, we'll get a confirmation of a safe arrival of the rover on the surface of Mars tonight. If not, the shouldn't say most likely, they certainly can give instructions for the rover to roll off onto the surface of Mars,
Flight software, go.
and receive confirmation of that
Do you want
tomorrow.
to resend this retransmit fatal?
Images will be stored on board the lander and then relayed back after the Earth rises tomorrow morning. That will be tomorrow morning Pacific Daylight Time, but also
Roger,
tomorrow
I'm
morning
gonna
on
make an
Mars.
attempt to get that fatal pack down.
Copy that. We'll make the attempt.
To understand the context for sunrise and sunset, you have to imagine yourself on the surface of Mars. Something now that we can do, since the images and the panoramas from Mars Pathfinder that we saw yesterday and again this morning allow us to not only imagine but really visualize what the landscape is. And on cue, there's a beautiful picture of a rock relatively close to the lander with some sandy material located to the left. Perhaps an indication that as water flowed across this landscape, fine-grained material was deposited to the left or downstream of the rock. But as you're on the surface of Mars, currently the sun is high in the sky. The sun will be setting in about 6¼ hours. So it's midday.
Lighting.
But the Earth and the Sun are not located in the same exact patch of sky, and in fact Earth will be setting or going below the horizon